sure? Yeah. All right. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Here we go. Deeply Rooted, Season 2, Episode 2, um, with the brother Christian Adair. Um, if you're from Lawrence, if you're from the town, I'm sure you know the brother born and raised, Lawrence legend. Um, Christian been around long as any of us, currently resides in Lexington, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Lexington, Kentucky. So, you know, Christian, we was talking just a little bit before the show, kind of about what my purpose is here, and one of my purposes is to give people their flowers and their appreciation and their respect while I can. You know what I'm saying? And a perfect example of that obviously is the brother Willie D. Like I had plans on getting him on this show, bro. You know what I'm saying? And but the beautiful thing about that is I actually was able to tell them face to face, man to man. You know what I mean? So, but now I want to give you your flowers, respect, and appreciation, bro, because I've been watching you for years, just on social media, and it seems like you have boots on the ground. You're in the mud, in the trenches, helping young life. You know what I'm saying? And there's really nothing more honorable than that, bro. Especially you have a lot of kids. You know what I mean? It seems like your kids are awesome and doing well and, have their own things going on, So hats off to you, brother, man, for just being the change. Um,
Appreciate it.
so this isn't really about too much about your professional life. You know what I'm saying? It's really about your mindset and what it is that has you ticking and keeps you ticking. But just briefly, could you kind of share with us who Christian Adair is professionally and all of that?
Well, first, bro, my man, this is dope. I appreciate you. I appreciate you inviting me on. It's humbling to that anybody wants to even hear what I have to say. You know, you're right. We need to give the flowers to people that while they're here. We
Mm-hmm.
need to show love and support and uplift each other while we're here. And I really appreciate the fact that you're doing this program and what you said before we actually got kicked off about kind of um, doing your self reflection and you try to put some positive vibes in the world so the energy comes back. I believe in that too, man. So
Yeah.
who's Christian Adair? So I always talk to people and I always say to them, it's not what you say, is what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I think I live by that example. So I am an educator. I was a teacher, and I've moved to the school district, a central office, where now I work in the equity office,
Okay.
office of the equity school sport community engagement, where I'm a dropout prevention transition support specialist. I help families and students, but my main area of focus, which is passionately educating boys of color. So when we any programming that we can develop, we can use, we can do professional development for teachers. That's what I oversee. So in Fayette County Public School System, that is what I do daily, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what also I do, and I ain't go too deep, but again, it's not what you say, it's what you do. I'm on the Parks and Recreation Board.
Okay.
I'm on the Human Rights Commission. I'm the president of my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha chapter fraternity. I'm the president of the chapter here of Alpha Phi Alpha, which is Alpha Beta Lambda, and it's a community service organization, if you didn't know, that is about serving our community. I am the founder and director of Alpha League. It's my mentoring program. I'm the chair of the Lyric Theater, which is the our cultural arts center here in Lexington, which brings the community together, and we do cultural events, performances, and things like that. But it's our main cultural center here in Lexington, um, and I'm on another board, but I'm on these boards that are going to affect our community,
That's
and
dope.
that and I'm a coach. I'm a track coach, so I love track and field. That's actually what actually moved me from Lawrence to Lexington, and this is where I've been ever since then.
Yeah,
So I guess
and you ran track at Kentucky, right?
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Do you got any
So
records?
well, I tell you this: when I was at Lawrence High, we were dope, right? We were
Mm.
three state championships every year I was there at Lawrence High. and I had a lot of records then, but records are meant to be broken.
Mhm.
I went to Kentucky, University of Kentucky, where we had a very good sprint squad. I did have a few records, and all of those have been broke since then. We've had
No doubt.
phenomenal athletes come through, Olympians,
Yeah.
and I'm totally okay with that because they had to do better than me to do better. So I always say, if I beat somebody, they were great. If they beat me, they were even greater.
I know
All
that's
good, you
right.
know.
That's dope, man. Okay, so who is Christian Adair, the man?
Father first, right? By being a father, saved my life. And when I had twins, when I was just turned 20, I didn't know how to cry. And I don't remember crying from like something being happy. I've been happy because of state championships. But when they were born, I cried and I was like, wow, these guys are gonna need me. And I had twins,
Mhm.
and I'm a twin. So um, father first, and I serve my community. I'm a mentor and a coach, and that kind of rounds out who I am as a person, right?
Okay, dope. So, how do you define success?
Simple. Getting paid doing what you like to do. it it doesn't matter how much money it is. If you get to get up and you look forward to going to do something
Mhm.
on a daily basis and you can't wait to do it and you don't look at a clock,
Mhm.
uh, that's success to me. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you want it to be
Yeah,
as people, but I'm saying you're successful if you're doing what you want to do.
I love that, man. I love that. Now, how has that changed, or has that changed over time for you? Was there a time when that was different?
I'm 48, right?
Hmm.
So I've had some life experiences. Early in life, it was all about, we're in survival mode, or we're in living mode, right? I just now hit living mode just a few years ago.
Yeah.
My whole life was about surviving. It was like how I'm going to get money to feed, how I'm going to get it, make sure my shelter is there, how I'm going to make sure that my loved ones are taken care of. So I was always in survival mode, and so that was all about getting money.
Yeah.
And then later, when you become good at something,
Hmm.
money finds you,
Yep.
right? So you become an expert at something, money finds you. And once that happened, once I decided I'm going to be an expert in these fields, I'm going to use what my passion is to create my avenue, and I started getting paid doing it. I started living and relaxing a little bit more and just enjoying the moments,
Hmm.
enjoying life a little bit better.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's okay to change your passion. It's okay to change your own definition of success.
No doubt. It's kind of like what I was saying about Willie at the funeral, man. It's like you have the ability to write your own chapter. This is your story. At any point in time, it can change, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
So I love that. Great answer. So what drives you?
Um, growing what my experiences growing up.
Okay.
Uh, so I grew up in North Lawrence, and I had a mentor. I didn't realize who was my mentor. Okay, I'm the youngest of six, right? I was raised by a single mama. I'm biracial, but at the time I didn't know I was biracial, right?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story. But there's a guy on the block named Dick Levins, Richard Levins,
Okay.
um, a schizophrenic. He heard spirit voices. He actually dug a hole underneath his house and wore earplugs to get away from these voices.
Wow.
He paid me a penny a minute to do whatever I had to do, any kind of job, work in
Okay.
his garden, fix my own bike, mow my own grass, whatever it is. He gave me a penny a minute, and then he gave me $1 food stamp on Fridays, right?
Okay.
So this guy who's a schizophrenic also was a genius.
Yep.
He was a genius as well. He's a professor in college at one time. His thought processes probably goes way above most people's heads. So
Hmm.
this guy mentored me without me knowing it, and he came and shoveled us out of our house one day. It was a black mama and these six kids down the street, and we were snowed in. All y'all live in Lawrence,
Hmm.
sometimes the plows used to come by and plow your car in. Well, my mom worked at Hardee's and she couldn't get out, and
Okay.
you ain't at work, you can't get paid, right? You
Yep.
can't. You got to be there. It's an hourly job, and he came and he shoveled us out. And I saw him out the front window, and I jumped on the couch. I was jumping. I said, "They came to save us. He came down to save us, because Mama was getting ready to go to work."
Hmm.
And I was just at that moment, I was like, man, why is this guy helping us?
Yeah.
Why does he care? And so my motivation is he planted a seed in me to help other people. So that seed that he planted in me, we have a program here in Lexington where we have 19 mentoring programs. Over 200 boys are being mentored every year. And when the kids see me that I direct mentor, I say, "What's your promise to coach? What's your promise to me?"
Hmm.
They say, "To help a child that's not my own."
Okay.
And so that motivates me that I'm planting seeds like he planted in me in Lawrence for no reason. He got nothing back, nothing at all. And I the 200 boys that have been mentored over the last few years, and 200 more is going to happen. 200 more. That's all because of a schizophrenic white guy
Wow.
who the world pretty much wrote him off, and he
Wow.
planted that seed in me, and he's the reason for these programs. So it's
Man,
just getting started.
the fact that you had that type of awareness, right? Because a lot of people, we see people like that all the time that we will call quote unquote crazy, right? But there's not a genius on the planet that's not crazy,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
the fact that you just saw him for who he was, and then you saw his deeds, and that led you to like 200 little boys, man, have their lives have been changed as a result of you being aware and you being present, bro. That is powerful, right? And we all can do that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what Dick did is just show up. He saw a situation, his gut told him, I need to go help, and he did it.
Yeah.
No judgment, no, because if we all just did that, this world would be a way better place. So that was powerful, man. Thank you for sharing that story, bro. Um, okay, so how has a failure or an apparent failure set you up for later success?
So you if you started the show talking about people knew me, right? I don't know
Yeah,
how many people really know me,
yeah.
but those who knew me well knew that I used to get in fights,
Okay.
right? I used to get in these fights for almost no reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was angry, you know. I guess I was angry. I had to see a psychologist one time. They told me I was angry because I didn't have a dad, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, I ain't never had a daddy. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm missing." But I used to get in a lot of fights, and in those fights, I look back and was thinking about why. I was hurt. I was hurting people with my hands, and it was fun at the time. But that that is embarrassing at the same time. Like, why did I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but that made me want to kind of have amends, and it also helps me help the kind of guys that I mentor now.
Yeah.
I I got a better understanding of why your temper goes the way it does. Testosterone, being hungry, wanting what you can't have, wanting what other people have. So the failure, basically, I'm gonna say, is that at that time I didn't sit back and understand that not everything was about violence, not everything was
Mm-hmm.
about fighting. There were other ways, and that everybody I fought actually became my puppet master. They were controlling me.
Mm-hmm.
They made me react. They were they were making Christian uh, do things that wasn't very good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I let these people control me, and I
Mm-hmm.
won't let people control me now. They can't be my puppet master. They have to do they have to be more influential and have more impact on my life to help me to make me want to do and react.
Yeah.
So a failure of mine, basically, and it's kind of hard to admit your failure, was I allowed all these people to become my puppet master.
Mm. That's dope. And I had that same realization at one point in time in my life, man. That and not about the like I didn't use that phrase puppet master, but it's more like if I get angry, because me being angry is just me giving into an emotion, right? And
Yeah,
then being led by that emotion, right? But I noticed every time I did that, those were the times that got me in the most trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then so I started thinking, like, well, who has the power? And it's like, you have the power,
yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah,
yeah, but it takes a while, man. I mean, and like you said, you know, having that little dirt on your shoulder also allows you to be able to talk to kids. Like, so it was not a failure. I actually put this in here. It's phrased like that, but I don't believe in failures, right? You either learn Like, or if you don't learn, I guess it's a failure. So how about we
Yeah,
say it like that? Um,
yeah.
okay, so if you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say and why?
Keep it simple. I'm gonna try and keep it simple as possible. I would say enjoy your life, do whatever you want, except hurt other people.
Wow, that's dope. Now, why is that? Why is that your choice?
Well, because I think to me, so what's the definition of life? Why are we here?
Mm,
Is to get memories and experiences. I
okay.
think that I was just talking about survival and living. I think that we're here to learn, to live, to make memories, have experiences, and everybody as an individual has that right to go and enjoy life, to go and eat some food or go dance, go sing, go love, go be with somebody. You have that right. You have that right to just find your happiness and your peace,
Yep.
and everybody should find that. That should be your purpose. I think
Yep.
your purpose should go find that. However, on your path to go do that, it shouldn't be stepping and hurting other people because those other people also have a right to be happy.
No doubt.
None of us have a right to hurt somebody.
Mm,
It's not your right. You can't hurt your child. You can't hurt your family. You can't hurt your wife, your girlfriend, your husband. You don't have a right to go hurting and interfering with somebody else's happiness.
no doubt.
And so I encourage everybody, go be happy. Just
Mm,
don't mess with somebody else. Don't use your religion or your spirituality or your hate or whatever to interfere with other people. And it's kind of a message to those in a sense that hey, do you and let them do them. And it will be a more loving world. It'd be a more caring world. We won't have people that's always trying to take or hurt another culture because they're not the same.
mm,
I am not a religious person. I am spiritual, but I'm totally okay with if you want to practice to be if you're a Muslim, if you're a Christian, if you're whatever it is that you practice, I'm okay with it as long as it doesn't interfere with my right not to practice those things, right?
yeah.
And I think that simple billboard would say, go be happy, just be happy, smile every day, just
Yeah.
don't mess with somebody else's.
I love it, man. I love it. Um, what is one of the best or most worthwhile investments you've ever made?
Boy, my kids are dope, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
we talked about that earlier. So my
Yep.
kids saved my life.
Mm,
I have five amazing kids,
okay.
right? I can brag on them all day. They're different personalities, different conversations. Um, one ran track at the University of Kentucky, and she was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She's my mini me in a sense. She's the all-time winners high school track athlete here in Kentucky. She's dope.
Wow.
She went to UK, graduated from University of Kentucky. My son Jalen, he's one of the twins. He graduated from University of Kentucky. He now, I hate to put his business out there, but he's making over 100,000 in
Mm,
Chicago, working for Fifth Third as a corporate banker.
dope.
That was his choice. He made those opportunities. My
Mm,
son Jordan went to WKU, Western Kentucky University. He's a banker as well. He's one of the twins. Trey has a semester left at University of Louisville. And he's in California right now. And then Amani graduates this May from Berea College. So they went to all these schools, and
man.
all of them went free. So
Wow.
my investment, they all went to school free, man. They all. My job to them was when they got to graduate high school is that they had choices.
Okay.
I didn't say you had to go to college. I didn't say you had to go work for McDonald's. I didn't say you had to go into a career field of trades. I said just at that time, you get to choose what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my job. And so after that, they've all chosen. And so I invested my time in them. I was their coach. I was their teacher. I raised them. I was a single dad. So I enjoyed them. My best time of my life was little league sports, going to school with them, hanging out with them. I mean, my kids are just dope. They saved my life.
That is amazing, bro. That's amazing, man. I'm very proud of you for that. I mean, I knew your kids were dope, but I don't know all of like what everybody's what they're all doing, and I just see pictures and posts, and you know what I'm saying. But that is amazing, bro. And hats off to you. That right there is again being the change, right?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
just walking it, not talking it.
so so when I do retire,
Mm-hmm.
they're all gonna be doing pretty well in life. So
Mm,
daddy needs something, I
I
got
know
five.
that's right.
I'm like, hey, daddy, no.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're not one for me. And I'm sure at some point in time, if I do need something, I'm not gonna have to worry about
Yeah, I think you're gonna be well taken care of, sir. um, so what impact do you want to leave on the world? I mean, you already have impacted the world greatly, but when it's
it.
all said and done, what like what's that the end of it look like for you?
Um, so everybody is a piece of the puzzle
Mm-hmm.
in this world. Everybody has a piece.
Yeah.
So my piece, hopefully, is to do what my mentor did with me: is plant seeds that
Mm-hmm.
grow.
Okay.
I said that at Willie's funeral about him planting seeds,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully those when he gave them advice and he put some work into them, that they use that and they keep it going.
Yeah.
I think that that's what legacy is, right? Most of the time when you're living and you're trying to get by, you're underwater almost, you're in survival mode, you don't understand what legacy really means.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when it's all said and done, I'm not saying that people have to. I don't want no statue and no praise and nothing like that. But you die twice, right?
Yeah.
Once physically, and once when nobody says your name ever again.
Ooh.
And I think I'd prefer for my name to go on like Martin Luther King, right? And
Mm-hmm.
just to my small circle, but that I'm influencing those when I'm done actually physically doing the work that I planted a seed, and 10 years from now somebody can say, you know, this is going on in part because Christian Adair, helped get something started or whatever.
Wow.
Not to be, I don't know. I got some humility in that. I understand if it doesn't happen. I know
Yeah.
people are doing more work than me, but I'm working. I don't talk much about it. I actually do it.
Yeah.
It's not what you say, it's what you do, and I think
Yeah.
I'm doing that.
No doubt. And that's why I call this show Deeply Rooted, cuz I actually believe that same thing, right? Like when you set those roots and they're deep, and your tree starts to bear fruit, right? That to me is success, right? Cuz if you look in nature, then you just look at how a seed falls off a tree and how does that seed become successful? Like if it takes roots, if it sprouts, if it starts to produce fruit and seeds of its own, that's success in nature. And that's for us as people, it's the same thing. Like did they know you were here? What did you do? So that's dope. Great answer, man.
Well,
Go
to
ahead.
build on what you were saying, we got givers and takers out here. We got
Mm-hmm.
people that give to the world, that give to society, that give a part of them, that help others. They're givers. Then there's takers, people that just consume everything that's out there. They take and they take advantage of, and they just worry about themselves. Their ego's really big.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a taker from society. I want to leave more and give more than what I took out of it.
Yeah.
And when you've been that tree, I always gotta point out my daughter right here. She painted this painting behind me. It's a tree,
That's
and
dope.
that's actually for our family, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's very strong. But there's pictures within that. So what
That's
you're
dope.
saying about planting the seed and growing the roots and tree, my family believes in that concept as well.
That's
But my
that's
daughter
awesome.
painted that for our den here, and yeah, I just throw that in there. I don't know
It's
why.
beautiful. No, I'm big on colors. I like the colors in that thing. Yeah. So, well, that's beautiful, man. So, in the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your life?
So my kids are becoming empty nester,
Ooh.
and I was living my whole life, and I was enjoying it, but it was centered around the five worlds of my kids. Centered. I was around them. It was about them. So over the last few years, I was like, "Whoa, I forgot about me,"
Mm-hmm.
and I've lost over 40 pounds. My cholesterol is down to like 130. Was at 220.
Oh
I
wow.
focus more on my mental and physical health. I forgot about it.
Okay.
Go from a track star, right? So-called track star, working out to
Yeah.
being overweight and fat and eating red meat and pork and just killing myself. I was like, I clown people for smoking cigarettes. I'm like, they're like
Yeah.
literally killing themselves.
Yeah.
And then I realized, well, heck, I'm doing the same thing with food. So
Yeah.
I changed my eating habit. And because I changed the way I eat, and I still enjoy my food, right?
Hmm.
I've lost weight. I'm healthier. I'm not gonna die based on just eating some food, uh, but my mind is more clear, right? And
Yeah.
so, um, and taking care of myself, because if your health is your number one priority,
Yeah.
your individual, yourself, your health is the number one priority. It's over your kids, your family, your spouse. You got to take care of yourself first before you can help anybody, take care of anybody else. So,
Yep. And a good analogy for that is when you're on an airplane and they're going through the warnings and they say if the mask falls down out the thing, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to put it on yourself first, because if you're not good, you can't help anybody else. You know what I mean? So I love that. Well, congrats on getting it together, man. I'm a work in progress myself. So I'm trying to get that part together because honestly, it's our responsibility and our duty to do that, especially when you're a high achiever or a leader and people are looking to you. You know what I'm saying? It's a responsibility that we have. And it's not a responsibility to ourselves, it's a responsibility to everybody
yeah,
that is on our tree, right? So like if we don't take care of the branch, and the branches start to die and whittle off, no, we can't do that, man. So congrats, keep that up, bro.
no, yeah.
Um, so I'm pretty sure you got a good one for this one. What advice would you give to a smart, driven kid about to enter the real world?
Um, so yeah, I can probably do a whole speech on there, but I'm thinking more or less their choices in life, what they plan on doing. Anytime somebody tells you this is the way it's always been done, that's why you got to do it this way, get away from them.
Mm,
Move on. Create your path. Don't do things just because that's the way it's always been done. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. But and understand, Denzel Washington said, or he might have been quoting somebody, fall down 7 times, get up 8.
mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gonna happen.
Yep.
You're gonna fall down. But getting up every time. You just gotta get up. I mean, that's what everybody does. I mean, you don't go through life without falling down, without something happening, without a barrier being there, without something going not quite right. You
Yep.
got your ideals, and then there's the rest of the world you have to navigate. So yeah, I definitely can sit back and just kind of have conversations with young people and share uh, my thoughts of what I've learned from other people. But fall down 7 times, get up 8.
Yeah. I like that. It reminds me of a quote that says, "The person who fell down and got up is stronger than the person that never fell." You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah,
I
no
love
doubt.
that. Um, so, in the last 5 years, what have you become better at saying no to? Distractions, invitations, etc.
Um, I've never had trouble telling people no, man. So, uh, but I decided that my niche, what my niche, what it is that I want to do, um, what I want to contribute to myself and my happiness and my success, instead of allowing the world to decide what my job is going to do, every day I'm going to work, what I got to work on every day. I decided to say I'm going to do this. I'm going to work and become a male engagement expert. I'm going to work on being a mentor. I decided that I'm going to decide what my job was every day. And by doing that, I knew I had to become more of an expert, read more, go to
Mm-hmm.
um, go to different conferences, go to different trainings, and to focus in that area. So then I was able to decide what my daily job is. And
Yeah.
so I kind of said no to society and decided, well, Christian, we need you here. So I had to go there. And I did that for many years. Whatever the world around me needed, I was trying to fill that void.
Yeah. So now, as a leader, though, I'm sure there's tons of people that want your time. There's always somewhere that you can be doing something. One of your little guys needs something, or like so. How do you balance that out? Like, how do you determine when you're doing too much? Because I'm sure you do, right?
I do a lot. uh, is I guess if people know me,
Hmm.
they kind of know my lane, what I'm in. So don't bring me to the table, for instance, unless you're ready for what I'm about to serve, right?
Yeah, yeah,
The, be careful what you're asking for. If I'm going to be on the board,
yeah.
if I'm going to be a part of something, if I'm going to help a project, um, I think that my voice at this time is pretty much understood before people come to me.
Hmm.
Um, they know, like I don't want to put anything out there, bad juju, but they know that if they come ask me, it needs to be something in the area of what's in it for my community, what's in it for boys of color in particular, what's in it for what I'm doing already, and that I know that my skill set, I know what it is, and that I don't know if I'm answering your question that well.
That was beautiful, man. Because it's different. It's an odd question that just kind of pops up on people because not everybody is thinking about saying no. But what I'm learning is that you know sometimes saying no to somebody is saying yes to yourself or saying yes to your family, and it is important. I have, like, especially in the music business, like I had that bad, man. Like anybody called me and needed something, I just, I did it. And the next thing you know, I'm looking at my son like, I'm sorry, like I spent a 12-hour day working, I didn't make it home to watch the game with you, or and I just started thinking like, nah, I really have to start saying no. I took it to extreme this year and just straight up retired from music. Like that was like my ultimate no. Like there you go. That's the end.
Yeah,
That's the final no, right?
yeah, yeah,
Um
yeah.
so
I get.
with what you're doing with the boys, right? Do you have a particular mission that you're on? Is there a certain number of kids that you want to help? Is there a certain type of kids you want to help? Like, what's the mission that you're on?
So Alpha League, I have a website for y'all. Go check it out. AlphaLeagueInc.com.
Okay,
Um,
we'll share that.
the My mission, is to remove barriers and provide opportunities for my mentees.
Okay,
So I don't know what the barrier is. I don't know what the opportunity is. The majority of the boys that are in my mentoring program are low income,
okay,
single parent home males of color. Most
okay.
of them are black males, right?
Hmm.
I do have white males. I do have Hispanic males. Most of them are black males. Um, Basically, those kids kind of remind me of me
Hmm.
growing up. And those kids, I have a special place in my heart, and I also am able to relate to them on a level of through my lens of my experiences. And so, uh, my usually when I mentor my guys, my group is about 20 boys, and but I'm also helped develop other mentoring programs. I've
Okay.
helped develop 19 programs total. Right now, I'm helping
Wow.
mentor to youth. They're up in Michigan, so I do travel around. I do give consulting. I do help organize and create group mentoring programs, which makes it easier for a person to be a part of. And that's something I'm going to be coming to Lawrence to do.
Hmm.
I recently spoke with Dr. Lewis, the superintendent there. So hopefully, when I get there, and people like you, I've already kind of had a quick conversation with you already.
Yep.
When I come there, I want to help develop a program there, hopefully in the honor of
Oh,
Willie
that's
Dotson.
awesome.
Uh,
That's awesome.
it is going to take an effort. It is long distance. I'm not there, but I want to see what I can do. And if I don't try, then uh, then I failed, right?
Hmm.
So I'm going to go home, which is Lawrence, and I'm going to do what I can and get a program going. But I don't really put limitations. The kids that are in my program have to have a little bit of intrinsic motivation to want to do better. They got to want a motivation to help others because
Hmm.
that's what it's all about. It's a community service
Hmm.
group that we do. So the boys don't just get a bunch of handouts. I invest in those who want to invest in their own community and want to invest in their household and want to invest in themselves. So I help those. It's kind of like giving the fishing pole instead of the fish,
Yeah.
right? And that's what this
Absolutely.
program is. Uh, and I elicit the help of those around businesses, other men of color in particular. Women have. Black women in particular have been the backbone of our society for many years due to systematic racism,
Mm-hmm.
due to the enslavement of Africans, uh, tearing apart the family, and without it being the fault of our own. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that system of racism tore our family apart, and the Black women have bared the brunt
Mm-hmm.
through the the war on drugs and the disproportionate amount of men being put in prison for the exact same crime as our counterparts. But the family has been torn apart, and it's not because that was in us. That's not who we are as men, as Black men. You can look historically that we've been very much a socialist, strong community,
Mm-hmm.
but this system here has tore us apart. So, with all that being said, is that when I do mentoring programs and I do help these males of color, I always bring around Black men.
Mm-hmm.
Black women have done it. They go home to their Black mamas and their Black grannies and their Black aunties all the time. Who they don't get to go home to is the Black male figure because of what our society has done to us.
Yeah.
And that means that a lot of them are not in the household. And so the particular child, the ones that I want to help the most are the ones that are because they don't have access. And
Yeah.
I don't say that I don't. I appreciate the support of Black women 100%, but I don't call on them to be the ones that lead this program and that come and give advice. I don't ask white women. 82% of our teachers nationally are white women.
Mm-hmm.
They see white men in power all the time. I'm not knocking somebody for being in power, but to see it all the time, to open up a history book and see a highlight reel of white male achievement, our kids are exposed to them enough as well. So being very honest with myself and with, even though my mentor was a white male, right?
Mm-hmm.
But being very honest, I'm just trying to help that piece of the puzzle put in place and help those kids those young males who want to do better, who deserve the opportunity, who deserve a barrier removed. That's my guys. That's who I go after, and that's the programs I help develop.
No doubt that is amazing. Um, and my new mantra these days is the secret to living is giving, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because when you give authentically, right, and we're talking about authentic giving because so some people do things and they expect a result, or they keep tabs of, well, I did this and I did that and you didn't do this, and but when you give authentically, right? Anytime that you've done that, and this is for people listening, like anytime that you've done that and you've given something and you didn't expect anything back, think about how that made you feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got this feeling, you started vibrating higher, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
if you did that, you could do that all the time. And giving isn't always about money. So sometimes it's just holding the door for somebody, helping somebody with groceries. Like there's always moments if you look around that you can give, right? And
Yeah. Yep.
if you're giving authentically all the time, then that feeling is there all the time.
Yeah.
So beautiful, man. And that's one of the reasons I wanted you on this show, man. And it's like you said something where you said, I don't know, I guess you alluded to why would I want you, or like, what I'm saying, you just because in your mind you got boots on the ground, But see, the thing is, and it's another thing I'm trying to do with this show is I'm trying to show people that you look at Cardi B, or you look at Young Thug, or you look at Floyd Mayweather, or you look at whoever, all these celebrities, and you think that's what you want to be, right? But you're just seeing outwardly what they do. You have no idea of their morals, or what type of character they are. But then you
Yeah.
have people like Mr. Adair, right, walking around every day with all of this knowledge and all of this wisdom, and actually could change your life, and you can reach out and touch them like that. So I'm trying to bring light to that, is that like you are the real superstar. You see what I'm saying? Like people like you are who these kids need to be looking to. Now you are making it a point to grab some kids and make them listen and look, but like for me again, hats off for that shit, bro, because that's what it's about, right? um so I
It's,
just I just wanted to say that.
I want to piggyback on that, man. You know, the conversation we're having is great, man. You made me self reflect. It is easier for a child to become a Christian than it is become a Jordan, a LeBron, uh, or any of these famous people. I ain't knocking them, but it's much easier to do me to
Yeah.
be like Christian than it is to be like them. It is easier, data, factual to become a judge than it is to become a pro athlete. And
Absolutely.
our kids are, and it ain't their fault. Everything on news, everything on TV, if it's positive, it's a black athlete. And
Yeah.
so they just want to be with like what they see on TV. They don't understand the work they put in and the talent and the gift that those people were given already
Mm-hmm.
to go to work. But they don't put people like you and I on TV very often because of that, our kids don't know that they can aspire to be us and better than us.
Yeah.
And it is up to our community too. We can't keep thinking this media is going to correct this because it ain't their job to do it. It's up to
No, it's
us to
not.
put it out there. So what you're doing right here, man, with this show here and this conversation that you're having, this platform, this is putting the real world people out, and this we got to do more of because if the kids happen to see us, they can do us.
Yeah. You can
But if
do
you're
it.
sitting here interviewing a billionaire athlete, a millionaire athlete, that's much harder.
That's why I didn't go get Tech Nine. That's why I haven't even called him, right?
Mm,
Cause I mean, I love you, dude, but I'm trying to actually make some effect, and that's why I don't care about the views because these will be here forever. And if
yeah,
somebody don't catch this for 10 years, but it helps them and changes their life, then it's worth it to me. So you're right. These conversations are needed. So we just gonna do it, and
yeah,
you watch it if you do. And that's the way the world works. That's the way the universe works. Like if you need this, you'll find it somehow. And I'm
yeah,
confident of that because I keep doing that with things that I need. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I keep finding them just by being present, staying focused, having a goal, and just going after it. Okay, so when you feel overwhelmed or unfocused or have lost your focus temporarily, what do you do?
Man, so I I know my purpose. So luckily, because I know my purpose, I'm pretty driven and I don't lose it often. But I like to do this thing I call grounding, right?
Okay.
And that is to walk outside. As corny as may sound, I don't know. I like to walk outside barefoot on the grass and let the sun hit me and sit back without technology and just look within, man. Just chill and be grateful that I'm breathing. Be grateful for what's around. Be grateful that I can even walk on some grass barefoot. I just and think about where I did come from. Think about what I did growing up. Think about all those things. My growth, man. My youth was so dope. Was so fun. My neighborhood, the guys that was in our neighborhood. I think about those things, and
Yeah.
it keeps me grounded, right? So I think everybody needs to be grounded. We never touch the earth with our feet.
Yeah.
We never. We always got shoes on, and so that refocuses me. And I have a granddaughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I thought I used to make fun of my kids and say, y'all gonna have little raggedy kids because ain't none of them gonna be as good as y'all. Because I was
Mm.
always bragged about my kids. I'm like, y'all gonna have kids that are just bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all gonna just be lucky to have some kids like I had.
Yeah.
And it was a backhanded compliment to them because they were great. They were easy.
Mm-hmm.
But my granddaughter, boy, she took it to a whole nother level. And so that motivates me to keep doing what I do and knowing my purpose. The guys that I do mentor. I had a text today. A guy watched one of my guys. He actually graduated high school, and he said he's losing his way a little bit. He just needs a little bit more. He still needs advice and stuff. And he said, man, can we chat this week? Can we sit down? He
Yeah.
just sent a text like, Coach Adair, I need you to just give me some more guidance, man. I'm out here losing a little bit.
Yeah.
That stuff keeps my purpose, keeps me driven, keeps me grounded, brings me back to reality, what I'm doing.
Yeah. And I've been reading a lot. Probably in the last 5 years, I've been reading a lot of personal development books on law of attraction and energy. And I don't remember who said it, but that's something that like you said, we all should do. Ain't nothing corny about that. Putting your feet to the earth and just because at the end of the day, we're all part of this one thing. We're all one when it's all said and
Mm-hmm.
done. We're energy. Even tables and whatever. Like it's all one if you break it down to its smallest form, right? So reconnecting with that and having a gratitude exercise. I mean, essentially, you're meditating in the sun, bro. Like, I mean, and I just started meditating, bro. I meditated before Willie's funeral. Like, I did a 10-minute guided meditation, and I had never done that before, like before something so powerful. Because when you're in a room like that or you're in a situation like that, there's so much sadness and pain, and like
Yeah.
you kind of take it in. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to like not take it in. So I didn't even really get emotional. At that point in time, like at the funeral, and I was able to speak, and so I'm just learning about meditation and these type of things, but our mind is always going with all of these things, right? With bills, and I need to do this and I got to do that. But we never really give it time to rest. Even when we sleep, we're dreaming.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
meditation is you allowing your brain to just do what it wants and relax and chill.
Yeah.
So, great answer, man. So this last one is I just throw this one in kind of for fun, man. But like, do you have a song that you consider to be the soundtrack to your life, or a favorite song that kind of is Christian in music?
Um, so I don't know what DJ out there that could mix this song, but I need it mixed a little bit.
All right.
Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I guess, it kind of tells you, be the change you want to see the world, really.
Yeah.
That was Grinding All My Life by Nipsey Hussle, man.
Mm,
Put those two songs together right there.
yeah.
I designed myself.
Wow.
Nipsey, I became a fan of him late.
Me too.
Uh, I wasn't, you know, I wasn't on listening to him that well until right before he passed. It was crazy. I like, oh, this dude's dope, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
they got taken away. But Man in the Mirror and that. So if I get a DJ out there to mix that song up for me, I'll probably be on the floor bumping it. I'm
I
like,
know,
this is,
I know that's right.
that's a dope. I don't know what kind of mix that can be, but I know it can be done.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I love
Can you do
both of
that
those.
for me?
I probably could. I probably could. I don't know. No, that's dope, man. And I got on Nipsey late too. Nipsey is what made me jump into the crypto space.
Uh,
Because there for a second there was an app that they were trying to pump that was like crypto influencers, and you could go on there and get advice and from them every day. And he was involved with that, so like I was on that app, and I just musically, I have this thing with new music, and it's not so much like the old grumpy hip hop fan thing. It's more like I was a professional for many years, and like when I'm done working, I don't want to listen to that shit no more.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and especially the new stuff, I just as I was getting older, I just wasn't. So I didn't listen. I thought Nipsey Hussle was just another one of these knuckleheads.
yep, yep,
But then I
exactly,
started listening, and
yep.
I realized he was one of the most special ones we had, bro.
Isn't that crazy? It was the company you have kind of, you think you're a reflection of that. So the people he ran with, they were those kind of knuckleheads, but they were the streets, right?
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about, but he was like hidden because all the people that's around him.
yeah,
And then when we started paying attention to what he was saying, and he was saying it with some flow and hard, just like they are now. He's
yeah,
like, hold up, he's speaking some knowledge.
yeah,
Uh, but it was like almost subliminal knowledge. You have to actually pay attention to them. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, yeah. So those are great choices, man. I love both of those songs. I got a chance to see Michael Jackson on the Bad tour, bro. It's like
Wow,
still one of the best moments of my life.
wow.
So yeah, man, this has been great. I mean, this is your opportunity right here. If there's anything that you feel, any message you feel like you need to get out, or anything you feel like you want to close with, man, the floor is
Oh,
yours, sir.
all right. Well, I want to tell a story then. How
Okay,
about that?
let's do it.
So the story was told to me uh, in ancient Africa, what the villagers used to do there, right? So the village leaders would start thinking about which young males are about to become men. And when they decided which boys are about to become men, they chose a night that they went into the huts and they grabbed these boys out and they put a hood on them and they took them out the hut and they marched them away from the village, far away from the village, and it would just be just the men, the elders of the village, and these young men that are about to become men, right? So they took them away from the village and they went over and they shared the knowledge, they shared their stories, they shared what your expectation is to be a man. They told them what it is like to what being a husband, having a wife, raising kids. It was teaching them how to be givers into their society.
Mm-hmm.
They were teaching them all the secrets, whatever they could feed into them guys to prepare them for manhood. So it was a ritual.
Yep.
They would do some ritualistic things and they would tell them, you're a man now. They would pump them up and be like, we got your back. But understand these rules. When you come back to the village, you are expected to be a giver. You're expected to be a man. You're expected to do your contributions to the society that we have decided to have in our village.
Mm-hmm.
When you go back to the village, you're also going to go to your own hut. It's your mom and your family is getting it together for you right now. You're going to have all the tools you need. You're going to have food in there. You're going to have everything in there. But your mom can never go into your hut ever again.
Oh.
That means there was a break. The mom, it wasn't just for the young male, the mom can no longer be mama no more. They said the next woman to go in your hut is your wife.
Wow.
You only have a wife, not your mama. But until you have a wife, you're in there and you are contributing. Now, mine, they gave them all the tools he needed to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the boys were brought back into the village, and the boys knew they were going to be taken off eventually. They just didn't know when. But they knew, there was a secret. They couldn't tell nobody what took place away from the village. They just came back and they come back as men. Their chest was high and they were proud and they were having celebrations. There was food and people was singing and dancing. It was like our boys are back and they're men now. And they welcome into the village because the more men you have in the village, the stronger it is.
Yeah.
So there was a couple of things that was taking place. There was the separation of the mom babying their son. There was the men that were held accountable for raising and to give wisdom to their boys. There was also a celebration, a ritual of you being a man. Now, the boys, when they went to the huts, were they scared still? Yeah, they were. They were still scared because now they're going into their own place and the expectations were higher. They don't get to play all day no more.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you this story because this is what I challenge all you men that think that you're a man out here. What you need to be doing right now is you need to be taking these boys and taking them to the side and feeding them their knowledge and wisdom. And you need to be an example and do what you're supposed to be doing. Do the expectations. You're supposed to be given the same thing. And what happened, because I was telling you earlier, we were enslaved people and all those things were taken away from us. We were raped. Our culture was taken away. But in essence, we are socialist people. In essence, that we are men. In essence, that we are supposed to take care of the village. And at the same time, women have to give up their sons, let them become men. We got to do the job. But that's how the village gets stronger when we give the clear expectations. It's not okay to tell these boys, we need you to be successful. We have to tell them how to become successful. We have to give them the hand up. We have to give them the tools, and they will do it. They will rise to expectations. What we're lacking right now in this community, in all these communities, is that we got to do it. We can't expect nobody else to be doing it for us. And so I want to leave that seed for all you men out there and give you a challenge that why can't you help somebody that's not your own child? Why can't you be a part of that village? Give a tool. So that's why I'm going to drop the mic on that one, man.
Yeah, I'm about to say, dog, you got to drop the mic and walk the hell off after that, right there, man. So that was powerful, man. And just like I knew, this was a great interview, bro. Like, thank you so much, man. I definitely, again, before we rock out, man, I like man to man. I see you, bro. I recognize you. Keep doing your thing. Anything you need from me, bro, I got you, man.
I'm
So
coming. We going
thanks.
to do something. We
All
going to
right.
do something. I appreciate this platform, bro.
No doubt. Have a great evening, homie.
You too.
All right.